All right, this is how you make a histogram on Excel. So I have a data set right here. The first thing I need to do is I need to find my max and my min. Okay, so to find your max, you just click on max, highlight all of your data, and boom, it finds it. To find your min, type that in, click on min, highlight all your data, boom, there's your min. So I've done step 1. Now I'm going to go to step 2, find the bin range. So I'm going to actually write bin range. And the bin range is going to always be equal to your max minus your min divided by your number of bins that you want to have, which usually is 10 unless I say otherwise. So just write that as 10. Now the problem is this isn't a very nice number. So I'm going to now do a rounded bin range. Make that a little bit easier to see here so that we can just make it prettier so it's easier to intuitively see the data. So 18.9 rounds off to, I want to do a number that's divisible by 5, 20. Okay, so now I have found my bin range. Now I need to make a list of my bins. So I'll title this bins. Okay. And my bins, I first start with a round down from the min. So my minimum number is 11, sorry. It's 11 right here. So what I'm going to do is for my first number, I'm going to write 10 because that's divisible by 5 and a little bit smaller. I'm rounding down. Now the next number, this is where things get complicated. The next cell is going to be that first number plus the bin range because we're always going from here and increasing by 20, right? Now I want to make the computer kind of be able to see the pattern. So I'm not going to do it in my head. I'm going to actually reference that top cell, that first number, plus, and then I'm going to put, I'm going to actually put in 20. Now this, I always wanted to reference this exact cell, not above it. So I need to do, I need to put little dollar signs here, okay? So that it knows to never change from D4. It's always going to go to D4. All right. Now, I just click here. I go from my white plus sign to my black plus sign, and I autofill until I see something close to my max. So 200, I'm not there yet. There. I've gotten above it. So I need to either hit, it needs to either be equal to or greater than your max. I've gotten there. Awesome. Now I can actually begin putting this all together. So I'm going to move this over a little bit. I'll just make this a little bit noticeable so you guys can all see it because this is the most important part. All right. So we've got our bins. We've got our data. Let's highlight this as well. These are the two things we need to use. So I'm going to go to data up here on this ribbon. Over here, I'm going to go to the data analysis tool. All right. And then I'm going to find histogram on there and I'm going to say OK. Now I need to do my input range. So my input range is the actual data. Got that. Now I need to do my bin range. My bin range are my bins. Notice I do not highlight the word bins. Now I need to do another thing. I need to make sure that it's going to give me a chart output, okay? And then I need to tell it where I want the output to go. So I have to click on output, click right there in that box, and I think there's, and I need to find where there's space, and I have space right here. And then I say okay, and here you go. Here is my bins, the number in each of the bins, that's our frequency, and here's what it actually looks like. So I'm going to move this over here for a second because I just want us to remember for the tools that we had to do the input, which is our actual data. We had to do the bin range, which is our list of bins, and then we had to click on the chart, and then we also had to click on where to put the output. Okay, now this still doesn't look like a histogram because they're not next to each other, so I'm going to double click here, and you'll see I get this little here with, I'm going to make those gaps go to 0, and boom, I now, and I don't need that frequency thing, I now have what looks like a histogram, and I can fix all of these axes labels and my title.